People always ask me, how can I grow my organization faster? That's a great question, and it's an important question. In this session, you're going to find out about the 10 building blocks that create a strong foundation for growth that lasts. Welcome to our first session in a collection of talks on accelerating growth. In the last 20 years, we've worked with small startups to some of the largest companies here on Wall Street. We've led teams that have built marketing technology for auto manufacturers like General Motors, Toyota, and Ford. We've been a part of some of the largest nonprofits like World Vision. We've even helped build distributed marketing platforms for financial services companies like Charles Schwab. And do you know what we found? That there are 10 foundational building blocks that are essential for sustainable, accelerated growth. It doesn't matter what kind of organization you're a part of. You could be part of Google, you could be part of any of these large companies here in Times Square. You could own a hot dog stand. You still have to focus on these 10 foundational building blocks for your business. But there's a problem. How many of you know that when you're caught up in the day-to-day of business, you can lose perspective? When you're launching a new product, it's all hands on deck. Everybody is pouring their life into their baby, but sometimes they can lose perspective on some of the key foundational building blocks to making that product launch a success. And when you're established and mature, you can become so focused on execution that you lose sight of the creative, innovative edge you had when you first launched. But here's the thing. What if you focused on 8 things really well, but it was 2 things that were holding back your growth? You wouldn't need to focus on those 8 other things that maybe are natural to your organization. Maybe it's the 2 things that you're missing out on, and that's what we're going to cover today. What are those building blocks for success? How many of you have gone to a doctor for a health checkup, and maybe 90% of your body is healthy, but there's 10% that isn't healthy? Do you focus on all 100% of your body, or do you focus on what is not healthy? That's the key to business as well. There's a methodology called the theory of constraints, and that's really what we want to talk about today. What is constraining your overall growth? It doesn't matter how well you're doing in 8 things, you might do those things naturally. But what if you have 2 building blocks that you're not doing well in, that you're not healthy in? That's going to hold back growth for your whole organization. Here's the thing, you don't know what you don't know. And that is why we've co-created the Growth Canvas. Here's the thing, when you use the Growth Canvas, you make sure you don't miss an important building block of your new product or of your current organization. Now, there are 3 essential pillars to every organization: marketing, operations, and finance. Now, obviously, when it comes to marketing, digital marketing is a huge component, but there's this whole offline world, and I'm probably standing in one of the busiest areas for the offline world of mass media: billboards. Billboards are huge here in Times Square. There's also all sorts of other mass media like newspapers, TV, advertising. You just want to consider those when you're looking at which communication channels are most effective for your audiences. Under the pillar of marketing, you've got audiences, communications, the value proposition, distribution, and partners. Under operations, you've got 3 key building blocks. What processes do you have? What people? And what technology are you using? Under finance, there's 2 essential building blocks: revenue and costs. You want to look in revenue at what pricing model best captures the value over the next 3 years. Especially when you're starting something, you want to have that perspective. Looking at costs, you want to see what costs are the fixed costs, what are my variable costs, and what are they over the next 3 years. Again, when you're planning, you want to have that 3-year plan. Now, in each building block, you want to ask yourself, what would have to be true for me to get an A+ in this area of my business? Think about 3 questions when you look at each building block. The first question is, what should you continue doing? What's working? The second question is, what should you stop doing? What's not working that is getting in the way of your growth? And the third question is, what should you start doing? What is holding you back from growth that you need to take that action step? Is fear holding you back? A lack of expertise? Those kind of things can get in the way, and you need to be able to overcome that fear. When you're thinking of something new that you should start doing, ask yourself this question: what would it take to get me back to where I'm already at today? Sometimes it's a lot easier than you think, and it's worth taking that risk to try that new thing to accelerate your growth. Now, there's two ways you can take action. The first is for the do-it-yourselfers. Fill out the form on the side and you can download this canvas, take it for a test drive, see how you like it. Now, the second option is give us a call and one of our experts will walk you through the growth canvas. It only takes an hour and you'll walk away with 3 actionable insights that you can use, give you some direction you can walk away with to take immediate action. Our hope is that you get clarity and break through some of those constraints holding back your organization. If that happens, we feel like we've done our job. And if it helps you, maybe it would help a friend, maybe a colleague, maybe a partner in crime, who knows? We want to help as many people as possible to accelerate their growth and get rid of those constraints holding their growth back. So click like on this video and stay tuned for more on this collection of talks about accelerating growth. In the next session, we're going to look at one of the most important building blocks of all, your audiences. Until then, I'm Greg Wasmuth, reminding you to stay grateful and stay growthful.